We're Our Hollow Our Home. We're 3 members of Our Hollow Our Home. I'm Connor, I'm the vocalist.
I'm Josh, I play guitar.
I'm Toby, I play guitar and I sing.
Alright, so this is the start of your European tour. Are you excited for the upcoming shows?
Yeah, definitely. We love playing in Europe.
Totally stoked.
Yeah, stoked to be back out here. Feels like it's been a while, so yeah.
You just did your UK tour, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally a week ago. So
Yeah, it was tight. That was really good.
insane. Probably the most successful UK run we've done to date, like in terms of like people coming to shows. Yeah, it was just unreal to get that reaction in our home country. It was sick.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome. With this tour, you'll be promoting the new album, In Moments in Memory. How has the album been received so far?
A lot better than like we ever really thought, I think. We kind of do everything independently, so you never really know when you put something out how it's going to be received. And obviously with the difficult second record, you risk alienating people and you get the potential for fans you've already made to be like, oh, you know, I wanted it to sound like this, or I'd hope they went in that direction. But no, everyone seemed to really enjoy it, you know. It was quite a personal album for myself, but in terms of the way it all came together and the response we've had has been absolutely outstanding. You know, like we couldn't ask for any more from our fans, and it's taken us to new places. It's brought our music to new people, and that's all we ever really wanted. So really well, great.
In what way is it different than your first album? You say like the second one is always like more difficult.
I think it's like the second album is always traditionally the difficult
like a
one, isn't it?
stereotype. It's there's the hump of an album, isn't it?
I mean, Heartsick went down so well, like, from our point of view. So
and it's a very
like,
heavy concept compared to Heartsick.
And it's like, so you either have to at least match that or top it. Otherwise, it's like if you get
You've set a bar with the first album.
We're a new band. We've released quite a lot of music in a short space of time, and it was like, oh shit, like, and the pressure's all on Toby. Like we put like pretty much writes everything. So it's like
Considering we do this all by ourselves, to have two full lengths out at this point is it's.
And where the first album sort of, you know, it was given a lot of praise by the industry and by some of our peers, you know, as being a basically solid record. Like there wasn't really any filler tracks. You kind of got to look at it and go, well, we need to make sure that everything on the second record matches or is better than. We've always stood by, if we're going to do something, we always make sure we try and top something we've done before. So I'm not saying I don't still love Heartsick. I think it's a really important album for us. But for me, In Moment in Memory is much more where the band is heading in terms of musical direction.
So in what way have you topped it?
From my point of view, because when Toby was writing on the road, I felt like Heartsick we were still trying to find our sound, whereas In Moment Memory the sound is maturer, slightly darker, but you still have like the big anthemic choruses, big sing-alongs and stuff. It just is a more well-rounded sound in my opinion. So you can there's like you hear a song
as well. It's
it's hard.
It's
fucking hard.
structured.
Cheers, fam.
And just I love the orchestration that we've put on the record. The way that it flows, it feels like a full piece of music. Not that Heartsick doesn't have those kind of flows too. It feels just more like a cohesive album, like a cohesive listen.
I mean, it was designed to be listened to front to back, but at the same time, if you want to just listen to a couple of songs that you really like, you can. But I think for the whole experience that we certainly wanted portrayed on the CD, you sort of put it in your CD player, your vinyl player, or load it up on Spotify, and you go from track 1 all the way through to track 15.
Yeah,
That's also because there's a concept in it, right?
Yeah, there is a concept,
The concept takes you through the 5 stages of grief, I've heard.
Yeah.
Is it hard to like sing about this like on stage, or because I can imagine it's like it brings you in a very vulnerable state, and you bring this across to a lot of people that you don't actually know. How hard is it to actually like do that?
I mean, singing about grief, it is a very cathartic experience, I think, for us, because you know you're able to release those feelings in a setting where that is perfectly fine, and like-minded people are experiencing it in a different way. But I think it's cathartic for everyone involved, and I mean, especially for Toby, this album was very personal for him. So I can't imagine how hard it is for him to be playing some of these songs. But I mean,
I think we've always been quite transparent about how the album works, and from the moment that we sort of put the album out for pre-order and stuff, we explained this is why it's the way it is. But the most important thing is that the album was to give people in a similar position that we've been in a positive turn on grief. So whilst it really sucks, unfortunately it's something everyone has to go through, and it's rather it be something negative. We wanted to make sure that the album sort of was your companion. It takes you through, but it ends on a positive note. So it shows you that no matter how many storms you have to go through, there's sunshine at the end of it.
It's like the one thing that I've noticed about the fans' reception is that at shows they come up afterwards with Heartsick. It was like, oh man, your music's cool, like really, it helps. Like, but this time it's like there is an added level of
They have a connection.
Yeah, they have a. It's not they didn't have a connection to Heartsick, but with A Moment Memory,
it feels like a deeper.
I see them going for you two. I'm like they'll go up to Toby or Connor and it'll be like.
There's sections in the album that address just certain feelings as well. You know, there's anger, there's the feeling of shock. Like it addresses so many different things other than just grief as a whole. So I mean, even if you haven't been through that experience yet, as Toby says, it's something that we all have to face at some point. But I think it helps through so many different emotions that, you know, we experience just in life, you know? Yeah.
But if you're not in like a certain phase yet, like say you're not in the final stage or in like the final 2 stages or something, can people still relate to it? Because I can imagine when you're in the beginning of grieving, you'll be like, well, that's bullshit. Like, how can I cope with it at some point?
But that's the journey of grief, though. It's not like, you go from one stage all the way through. It's like, some days you might feel depressed, but then you'll go back to anger. You'll be like, so it's like.
Although we say the album is a cohesive listen, there are sections that you might go back to at different points in time.
It's not linear.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's very interesting concept, and I heard that like in the song Denial you quoted Elaine Mansfield on a TED Talk that she did, and you say the wound is the place where the light enters you. What does that mean to you?
That's a really interesting one because I found that TED Talk after we returned from a European tour. My father passed away the day before we left, so I was like, right, well, we're going to go because that's what he wanted. So I got back, and obviously being on tour, we did about 2 weeks. We broke down, we got stranded in Austria, we broke down again and got stranded in Germany. Eventually we got home, and I kind of think I'd been on a high from doing all these cool shows and stuff, kind of sat down at my computer and just sort of like the realisation of everything that happened hit me. So someone at work was like, look, go on YouTube and search for these talks. So I went on there, and the first one I found was the Elaine Mansfield talk. And I kind of watched the whole thing. I think it's like about 45 minutes long, and it just really stuck with me. But it's from a famous sort of poet, that line. And to answer your question, I suppose you have to have some way of accepting change, and sometimes you have to suffer to embrace it. So I think that's kind of sums up the perfect entrance to the album, because you have to be vulnerable to mould into something new.
Change is something that a lot of people fear. I think most people fear change in some way, shape or form. And obviously when it's something like grief that is changing and affecting your life, it's something you do have to overcome, but you're going to come out stronger because of that, and you're going to know how to hopefully deal with things like that in the future moving forward. So yeah, it's, as Toby said, it's something painful that you do have to go through, but trying to put a positive spin on it in that kind of sense.
And I suppose the thing is, with a lot of things, you do have an element of control over it in your life. So if you're really struggling at being bullied, or you hate your job, you can change your job, you can move away, or you can get help with bullying and things like that. But
to people,
with death, it's brutal. You can't get away from it. If someone you love you lose, there is no middle ground. There's nothing you can do to go, oh well, maybe if I do this then it won't hurt as much. It's gonna have to be gone through. You have to deal with it.
Yeah. And
we just wanted to make sure that if someone who likes this sort of music we play could if we could help in some way, we felt we should.
That's how you got through it.
Yeah,
that's exactly. Yeah.
I guess like always, like the most personal albums are the best ones, right? They really show like your emotions, and it comes across a lot more true than other albums that are like not based on very personal emotions. So.
I'd say our music, even from day one, has a lot of integrity about it. The topics that we've always touched on have always been true to us, and we're never trying to be like, you know how you have like certain people will sing or rap about a certain topic and they don't actually do that. They'll like glamorize a certain thing. Like, we all suffer, like we all struggle with our demons and stuff. So it's what better thing to sing?
Yeah, I mean, like people listen to different music for different reasons. You know, you can listen to music because you just want to party and not care about anything. And there are other types of music where you want a little bit more integrity. And I think we're not trying to be this like righteous, and we're not trying to preach with anything that we do. We're just writing what we want to write, and staying true to ourselves as much as we can, because that's just how we write, and that's what we've always done. So yeah, we're definitely not trying to be anything. We're just writing what feels right, and that's why it's so awesome to see the reaction that we're getting from the albums that we put out, because it is just genuinely just us, just playing music.
Then you
Yeah.
know they actually genuinely like
Exactly.
you
Yeah, exactly.
for who you are.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Which is like crazy at times because we're like us. These
So
guys.
I don't even like me. Like,
Yeah, exactly. We have those feelings too.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
Christ.
100%.
How does that feel like? Because you've grown a lot in like the last, basically the last year, last couple of years. You've gained a lot more fans. Like you went out touring in Europe and stuff and everything. And how does it feel to actually become famous?
Oh, I think
Such
we're.
a short amount of
I definitely wouldn't say we're famous. I mean, like, we've been recognised in like a pub before and things like that, but we're not like super famous.
Yeah,
or anything.
I honestly think sometimes when someone wants a photo with us, we're more stoked to get the photo.
Yeah, we're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you
get
care.
awesome,
That's
yeah,
rad.
it's wicked.
Sick.
I still
Yeah.
get the moments when someone comes up for a picture and they go, "Can I have a picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, this guy." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in the band as well." Like, so
Didn't you see a guy in a Hollow Our Home t-shirt and you were like,
Yeah, yes.
you were like, oh, I really like your shirt, and he was like, yeah, cool.
no, I was at work.
Like, he
I was-
didn't even know he was in the
I
band.
literally,
like,
went up to this person at work. I was like, "Oh, sick T-shirt. That's really cool." And they're like, "Yeah." Just walked away. I was like, "Cool."
But,
I'm like a
no,
weirdo.
it is super humbling to like see the reactions that we're getting at shows, and it's just like it's coming out and playing shows in countries you've only been to like a couple of times, and like from the first couple of tours that we did in Europe, like the rooms that we played are like full now, and we're headlining, not supporting. So it's just insane.
Do you remember
Like,
on the first time we played Budapest? Basically, our van broke down. We had like no way of getting anywhere. Me and Nick walked for like 3-4 miles to rent some vehicles, and we were like, "Oh, the show's gonna be busy. We'll go." And like we've never been there. We didn't know what to expect, and the room was completely sold out, front to back. Like kids were jumping up and down.
I
crowd
stage
surfing.
dived on a boat.
Yeah, like we were on
It
a
was,
boat.
it was on a boat.
and
The show was
just
on a
like
boat. It was sick.
in that moment, you have to like kind of pinch yourself. Like, is this real? Like, it
Yeah.
was sick. Like,
Absolutely
so-
surreal. Like
Yeah.
people, you could hear people screaming before we even started playing. And for us, it's just like our little band from Southampton, England. Like that's
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah.
So we just want to keep doing what we're doing and embracing it as much as possible. And yeah, if you like us, cool. We like you too. That's awesome.
Where do you
Like
see yourself in the next 10 years?
Oh,
in the next 10 years.
Well, I'm not continuing to write an album per year, so we're not going to be on album 10 by that point. I can tell you that.
my goodness.
I don't know. It's,
I'd like to say that we've like left a little bit of our mark, like on the metalcore scene, as it were, and like not in like like an arrogant kind of way, just to be like, it'd be nice that if people could look back and go, oh, do you remember that Hollow Home band? Yeah, those guys were cool. Like
I feel that because we're independent, right? So we have free reign on what we can do, but it also is a lot of risk. So to still be in band in 10 years, that would be absolutely amazing. But who knows?
dream, yeah.
Like,
Who knows? Yeah.
we'd never become a parody of ourselves.
Yeah.
We'd never. I'd much rather if it came to the point where we couldn't do the band anymore, I'd rather go out on a high than be one of the unfortunate groups or something that you sort of reach here and then you do this and then you go back down. I'd never want to get to that. But I mean, who knows? Like, obviously, we're going to be positive. Hopefully, the band will keep growing, and then you'll come and talk to us, and we'll be playing some stadium or something. And we'll be like, "Oh, hi again! This is awesome."
I think we don't know what the future holds, but we'll embrace everything that comes our way and keep doing this as long as we physically can. As long as people want us to keep doing it as well. Like, yeah, we're just doing it for fun. So
I think I saw you guys in the Flux like earlier in November.
Yeah.
Down the Kill show.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was absolutely amazing. I'd never seen you guys before, and
thank
like all
you.
my friends
Yeah.
were like, wow, they're really good.
Sick,
So
awesome.
that was like, I was super impressed, and I think there's a lot of like metalcore bands out there, but
100%,
you're
yeah.
actually like, you really stand out. So it's
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's awesome. Like we've never claimed to be reinventing the wheel with what we do. We're not
We
like
just make a damn good wheel.
yeah, we just like,
Yeah,
exactly.
really-
That wheel goes. Just good. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Right. Well, thank you guys so much. I think I have enough footage right now.
That's great. Thanks so much for
Amazing.
taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I feel like I
Thank you
should
very
clap.
much.